like as a producer, I always make a bucket full of influences and just pull them out. And I don't believe in boundaries or limits or anything. I just think you should just make whatever feels good. I don't give a shit what is doing well on Spotify or TikTok or whatever. I think you just got to allow yourself the freedom, which I've always done, and just enjoy the ride of, well, this inspires me right now, and I just enjoy making that. So,
hey, I'm Graham Farmer, founder of the dance music magazine Data Transmission and Twitch partner, streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays from 1 p.m. On this channel, we share the full interviews from my Twitch streams. But before we jump into this interview, if you can help this video get more reach by giving it a like and a comment, it'd be most appreciative. And don't forget to consider subscribing so you always get notified when we drop new interviews. John Newman, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm very good, Graham. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm well excited.
I am actually really excited too.
Right? So we got some new things. I thought I won't tell you this before we warmed up, but if you want to ask John questions, we're going to take questions from the audience throughout the show. We've got a brand new button on my Stream Deck, which is this. Wait for this. This is hilarious. If you want to know something from John Newman, we're going to ask you. You need to ask it in the question, but we've got this button. What do you need to know? Or you could ask him in the chat.
That's amazing.
We're going to be doing that all the way through. If you need to know
stop.
We overly produced that this morning.
It's so good.
But anyway, so we're going to do that throughout the stream, but let's just get started. John Newman, welcome to my Disco Shed. Thank you for joining me on Twitch. Before we start these streams, as it's lunchtime, we have a little thing on my Twitch streams about meal deals. I don't know where this started, but it started a long time ago. Because they're lunchtime, we are discussing our go-to meal deals. You know, the kind of Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, wherever you go from.
Absolutely.
So I thought, and I've now use these as a little bit of an icebreaker, as like, what is your go-to meal deal?
Right, I feel like I hopefully get, this would be amazing if I got discount there after this, but there's I don't know if it's a London thing, but there's this place called Wenzel's, and it's like Greg's, but they keep the pasties warm all day.
No way.
Yeah, it's groundbreaking. It's amazing. So I always got to get a little meal deal from there and chuck a cheese and onion pasty on the side when I'm feeling like hungover or tired or whatever. Obviously, getting the right nutrients to rebuild the body back to its best state. But yeah.
I like this. Where Wendell's? We need gang. We need to check this out.
Wenzel's. Yeah.
Wenzel's. Gang in the chat. If you've had a Wenzel's, let me know. Yeah. Yes.
You've got to have.
Yeah. Oh, they are. There's people that are going, yes, Wenzel's is the one. Yes, Wenzel's is the one. That's my regular, Skeleton Keys says.
Absolutely.
He's on the Wenzel's with you, dude.
I've randomly got my neighbour, it's Jax Jones. My neighbour's Jax Jones, and he's got this like whole Greg's thing going on with Greg's. Right. Maybe I'm like the opposite. I'm Wenzel's. Maybe I go full Wenzel's. But I feel like Greg's might have a bit more money to put into these sort of things than Wenzel's. But, yeah.
I don't know. I think you just do it, isn't it? It's like to be the face of Wenzel's.
I love this.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Do you know, who was it? Oh, Example included Nando's in one of his songs. And then he got his Nando's black card, didn't he? Which meant he could eat Nando's for free forever, didn't he? So maybe you need to work in Wenzel's into the lyrics somewhere at some point. Okay, so what do you have with your Wenzel's? With a pasty?
They do like this banging like chicken club baguette and just a packet of crisps in my deal. Right. And a little bottle of Diet Coke in my deal. And then I go home and put Jane McDonald on cruise ships on Channel 5. And I just live a simple life, to be honest.
Amazing. As I mentioned, I'm here in my Disco Shed, and apparently you've been building a brand new studio, and now you're going to come from is that your brand new studio? Tell us that you've been building over the last 6-7 months. Tell me about it.
To be honest, I'm having one of those days. Our house, we've been renovating it for 2 years, and my studio, I was building it myself, but the issue is today is one of those days where there's like 100 people running around and calling me constantly. And I was like, why today? Like when I've got to do this like scary live stream to the world, like, but, so yeah, right outside my studio door, currently there's a guy smashing the wall with a hammer. And I was like, these things don't really work together. So I'm upstairs in the guest bedroom, but this is actually where I had my, my enlightenment of, new music and this whole new vibe, and like here and programmed everything and made everything. So I feel like comfortable in where I am, and it's like,
that's cool.
Yeah, I've got the same again. I've got like because my big deck setup, I've got like a little Pioneer kind of what are they called, like console. I don't know what they're called when they're like all built in one. Just with like a cold enchilada sat on top of it, actually. You can tell that my diet's amazing so far, can't you? Yeah, so that is me. This is where the hits are made, baby, you know.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So
you're using the Pioneer console. Tell me about that.
It's awful. It's just one that I actually got just to try some things out on, but my actual live setup's like amazing. It's like a spaceship. I've got 3 CDJ 3000s, DGS 1000s, the sampler, the Nexus 900.
Yep.
I've got I can't remember what it's called, but it's the Rob Pagan collaboration with Pioneer, the sampler. SP.
Is it the Taurus?
13, I think. Yeah, I think it's an SP13, I think.
Nice.
And then I've got and then also sat in my studio, which I use on my live show. I've got this big looper setup, which I can control by pedals, so I can fully loop and sample my vocals and then build them up and run them through a second Pioneer mixer for the effects.
That's sick.
But it's ideal, man. Yeah, because I've got because of all the linking and everything. Like, to be honest, the SP13. The main thing that's doing is going out to the front of house and coming back into my ears just as a click that I can stop and start.
Yeah. That's
linked completely to the tempo controls of the Pioneer setup. So it's ideal, like it's amazing. And I run everything in my studio actually through the Pioneer setup, so I can sample and use the mixer effects and record them back into my computer and everything. And it's like, yeah, it's amazing.
That's mental.
Yeah. Right, so that's Wenzel's and Pioneer that I've got coming up next.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you've been doing that for the last that's been happening for the last couple of years. You've been switching from the vocalist kind of mode to the producer and all in one.
Yeah, I always produced. Like I did my first 2 records heavily, and since being a kid, I've always produced, and I've always produced dance music. I used to DJ as a young kid, and that was like the beginnings of it. So then I fully focused on that for a period of time. But basically, I felt like in the pandemic, like at the start of it, I think as musicians, I think as men as well, we run away from emotions and hide from them a lot. So I basically always run around the world hiding from all these things I've done. And I felt like my career wasn't going as well as I wanted to at the point. So when I came home, it was a bit like, poof, like, what do I do? And what do I do now? I can't run, I can't hide. I had to face my fears. And I think that just actually sent me into an complete negative meltdown. And
oh my God.
I decided to completely wipe out everything in existence within my career in the way of got rid of my management, got rid of my label. I remember one day I was stood in a field with my dog and I had no management and no record label. And I was like, what have I done? This is crazy. It was really, really scary. I was like, this is so stupid. I've had number ones and go around the world and do all these amazing things, and now I've got rid of everyone. But it wasn't like in a diva-ish way. It was just like for the right, to be honest. And then I actually took 6 months to a year of just like staying off social media and working on myself internally. Of like, my mind and everything, so that I was happy as a person before I started making music again. And then as soon as I started making music, I just started making banging dance tunes. Just like that's what felt natural from being a kid to now. So I was just like, I'll do that. And then pulled the laptop out, washed the dust off it, and got cracking. But it just happened so naturally. And so now, like, I am basically the kid, 15, 16, as a 31-year-old. And I think happiness, to be happy internally, you need to please the kid that had doubts and anxieties and obscurities. You know, you need to please that kid. So I feel like I'm doing that amazing thing that I need to do now. And I love it. And I get to play in front of loads of people and have big flames going off and see the two cannons. That's cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I always love those. I always like, first, before we get into the COT chat, I fully agree with you. Like, the pandemic did give you that massive stop, didn't it? It gave you that kind of massive break, didn't it? But and you've kind of, I guess that must have been tough going, shit, I've come home and, you know, what am I doing now? Like, that must have been, it sounds rough. But you were right. And as dudes, you're right. We do just go, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to sit in my room and, you know, and keep it inside. And then you just kind of bubbles over and ends up in a horrible place, so I'm glad it didn't go there for you, know. But yeah, so let's talk about kids.
Well, I mean, it did, to be honest, but yeah.
Oh no, really? Shit.
Go on, sorry.
No, go on. You carry on. You carry. You go, man. You get it out, man.
No. I think you said it absolutely right. That we bottle it up and we hold it in and we hold it in, and then it just like it gets to breaking point. And I think for me that breaking point did come, and I was like, I thought it was fine, and that was normal. So then I had to learn to deal with that and move on from that. And I think I've come out of the other side of it being like a man, like a grown man, not a child or nothing now. I feel like completely like I've done that. So yeah, overall, obviously it's a very negative experience for so many people, but a positive one for myself, if you know what I mean.
What positive things did you put in place to sort of stop that it happening again in the future? Obviously, you said you mentioned changing management. Did you put anything else in, like exercise or meditation or yoga or anything, kind of those external things that can help you, you know, deal with stresses and strains? And
I think meditating was a big one, but one thing that I've always loved doing is like getting stuck into nature and getting in cold water. Like, it's a massive thing. Nice. And that was one thing that I started doing. Like, I started getting in my cold plunge pool all the time and just breathing through it. And then I started meditating. But I think, like, in terms of the things that to stop it happening again, I just think I need to chill out a bit. Like, in general, like, music's a really stressful, horrible job in general if you let it get that way. Or it can be, like, beautiful and amazing if you just relax and just enjoy the journey of wherever this weird and wonderful music industry takes you, you know? Yeah. So my aim is just to be focused but enjoy the ride a bit more. I think that's really key for me. But yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I heard, I was at a speech once, so someone at Tool Room Records was like, when your music becomes your hobby, basically is music, and when it becomes your life, you need other hobbies. And then it's like, what are your other hobbies? And at that point, I was the same. I was like, I'm just fully music. And it was like, shit, what? Like, I used to love going to football. Right, I'm going back to the football. I'm going to start watching football again because it just lets it out there, you know? Do you,
yeah.
Do you have other hobbies you enjoy apart from obviously being outside in your plunge pool? That sounds cool though.
I love Formula One. Like, I'm addicted to it.
Nice,
like, massively addicted. Yeah, like totally addicted. Nice. I've got a simulator. Sick. Which just wastes loads of hours, but I literally think I am like Lando Norris, like or George Russell, where I'm just like that. I am an F1 driver. Realised that actually I've just wasted like 30 hours of my life that week.
That sounds sick.
But
yeah, my parents are all Formula One. Like, well, they've been taking us to Formula One. Like, we went to the Silverstone in '86 when PK when the whole Mansell PK thing was happening, and then I went to Spa for Michael Schumacher's first race, which was absolutely epic.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So I can go full on in the F1 chat. I love happily days all the time, you know.
It's it's definitely interesting. I get so into it. I'm like constantly checking for who's going for the transfers and what's happening. I'm so on it. I get too involved in it. It's too stressful. Why do I make everything stressful? It's meant to be my release from music. It's meant to be a hobby. Yeah.
That sounds sick.
But
yeah, my parents are all Formula One. Like, well, they've been taking us to Formula One. Like, we went to the Silverstone in '86 when PK beat the whole Mansell PK thing was happening, and then I went to Spa for Michael Schumacher's first race, which was absolutely epic.
Wow.
Yeah. So I can go full on in the F1 chat. I love happily days all the time, you know.
It's definitely interesting. I get so into it. I'm like constantly checking for who's going for the transfers and what's happening. I'm so on it. I get too involved in it. It's too stressful. Why do I make everything stressful? It's meant to be my release from music. It's meant to be a hobby. Yeah.
How do you feel the end of obviously the end of last season was the kind of Max and Lewis and that kind of debacle at the end of the season. What's your big take on that? I know you were a Max fan, or where were you sitting on the driver front?
Do you know what? There was an episode on a program on Sky One the other day that like reflected on it all together. Yeah. And I feel really bad because I was quite happy that Max won because it brought a bit of competition into Formula One to watch. And I thought it was devastating for Lewis. And he's an admiring person in the way that he strives for everything he wants and keeps on going and keeps on going. And to be honest, struggles to be beaten. But it was nice to see a change. Yeah. And now I've watched the season back. Like, I do feel a bit... I mean, Max Verstappen, he's a hard driver, man. Yeah. Like, he's really running them edges. But yeah. So I just think it was good. I just think it was amazing to watch as an F1 fan. I was like, this is great. Like, I just enjoyed it. But yeah, it's nearly testing time, so I'm excited to watch again.
I am as well, yeah. The cars are changed and it's all different. And new drivers in Mercedes, which is good. And yes, I'm excited for this year. Anyway, let's go back to music. Divert Formula One. Yeah. Also, if you as I mentioned at the start of the show, for those that join us late, if you want to know something from John Newman's day, we've got a brand new button. So, what do you want to know from John Newman? Drop it in the chat, and we're going to ask him at any point in the show. And we can press the button as many times as we like, which is amazing.
Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, there's actually some questions.
Stop.
Okay, Harvest. Oh, I saw something. Harvest. I see some articles about mental health issues. What key things have made him habits to get out of it? Well, that's a good one. That's what he needs to know. Did you hear that, John? Do I play it again?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Now I will tell you.
Rein it back in.
Whoa. Right, mental health. I think we were just speaking about it actually. Yeah, like, I think meditating's good.
Yep.
I think speaking to somebody about everything is good. If you haven't done that, actually, I spoke about a lot of stuff with psychiatrists, and it really helped actually because I've never done that in my life. So yeah, and I think it's just like you just got to focus on positivity in your life. I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, and this is like this thing where you picture what you want and your ambitions, and then make it a possibility. So I think that's nice. It's a good positive vibe going on in your head to believe that you can achieve what you want to. So that's how I like to deal with it. But the shit thing about it is that we're all different. So you just got to, unfortunately, find your own path and deal with it in the way that you want to, you know.
Thank you. That was for you, Harvest. That was your thing you need to know.
Oh, I love it. It's so EDM.
I know. It's... Oh, my God. This is hilarious. Right. So fuck's sake. The first Heart track that I heard of yours was the Rudimental Crossover. Literally, I was at Global Gathering. Do you remember that festival a long time ago? Flipping hell.
My God.
Yeah, so I was at Global Gathering and...
I totally forgot about Global Gathering.
Rudimental were on the outside stage, and I was in that moment. You know where you go to get a drink, and then the big track comes on, and I'm like stuck in the booze tent. And I was like, fuck, I was like to my mate, we need to get back outside. But then the booze tent just kicked off, and it was like everyone was like singing away and the walls were shaking, and I was just like, holy fuck, this is wicked. You know, it's one of those absolutely always going to remember it. Like, that must have been a mental time for you, because obviously that's kind of where things kicked off, am I right? And everything kind of went crazy. How was that well for you?
It was absolutely like mind-blowing, to be honest. And the weirder thing about it was like I'm not I don't want this whole interview to be a negative thing, but like nope. I was Ricky Sport because I had my first brain tumor, and I was laying in a hospital, and then it started coming on the radio, and all the nurses were kind of asking me, "Are you the guy singing this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, here we go." I got nurses on me, and then it like just went mental. Like I literally came out of hospital and was like, right, Beefer, here we come. And I went to Beefer and performed it, and it went off. We all just went off our nuts for like a year. Yeah, I could barely speak for a year. I didn't sleep for a whole year, but it was amazing. Like absolutely amazing that time of my life, and so fun. And so naive, and I think that's what made it so beautiful and amazing. That we were just children having the best time without alcohol.
So that sounds fun. Okay, and then I guess as a vocalist, you one of the things I love is you can sort of swing across genres, and you obviously did swing across genres. Like you went the I Feel Love thing, and then went a bit more housey and more EDM-y, and now you're going more dance bangers. Is that nice to have as a vocalist and kind of as a producer?
For me, I've always even Love Me Again, the one we keep playing, but like that, I wrote that as a dance song, like a pure dance song. It was, it was 2013, so Tomorrowland and Swedish House Mafia were absolutely caning it at the time. Yep. And I don't know why, but I just thought this idea of merging this dance music with the soul music and meeting in the middle. And so that was always meant to be a dance song that I just wanted to produce in a different manner. It was just what I was feeling at the time. But as a producer, I always make a bucket full of influences and just pull them out. And I don't believe in boundaries or limits or anything. I just think you should just make whatever feels good. I don't give a shit what is doing well on Spotify or TikTok or whatever, because that might be me next and everyone wants to make my sound next. So I think you just got to allow yourself the freedom, which I've always done, and just enjoy the ride of, well, this inspires me right now, and I just enjoy making that. So yeah, but I think it's always been very dance orientated and inspired. Euphoric is the word. I've always wanted it to be euphoric. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah.
What you mentioned earlier about you obviously now you're playing tracks from your 15-year-old's inner self. What music were you listening to when you were 15? Where's your headspace at?
I had a set of Newmark belt drives that I bought second hand off my mate. So I was like, yeah, they were so good. So I was going to Leeds and buying white labels of I remember I had this recut of Lola's theme, which supposedly was the original Lola's theme vocal put over the Shapeshifters production. That was pretty sick. Yeah. And then I was quite into rave music, heavy rave music, Wigan Pier music. Yeah. Yeah. I had a pair of rock ports, drunk Blue Wickeds on a Friday night.
Nice. Nice.
And
this is a great picture we're hearing here. This is wicked.
I mean, not much has changed. And then, yeah, so I listened to that, but I also listened to I remember listening to Kanye Through the Wire, and it being one of the most inspiring songs I've ever heard. I thought it was amazing, and quite heavy hip hop music in places. And then I've also got I'm listening to Ray LaMontagne and Damien Rice and drum and bass. I love drum and bass. I remember I had an album called Bass Breaks and Beats, and it was massive, and I loved it. It was very heavy, and I loved that. Yeah. So I had all these like crazy influences coming together, but I've never been one. If music's good, it's good, isn't it?
Yes.
I think that's what a music listener appreciates, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, agreed. I saw somebody else comment a minute ago, which was absolutely lovely. Where has it gone? Here we go. I need to read this one for you. Sorry. Fleer79. I have a brain injury, and John Newman's music has helped me. So I want to say thank you to you. Oh,
that's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, let's give them the rave horn.
What's their name? Yeah, boy!
Fleer79. You can have the rave horn for that. I love that. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's always nice to hear.
And MXL, he needs to know. More details on rave music, please. What rave music are you listening to?
We might have to stop using that.
No, you just ends up in descent into laughter. We'll can it for a little bit. We'll put it on pause.
Do you know what's odd? I've had these sort of things for nearly 10 years of that song, but that one, I don't know why that gets me. I'm really enjoying that one. That one's good.
So tell me about rave music. Yeah, tell me about rave music. Which rave are you into? He wants to know.
I used to listen to high-pitched vocals and donks more.
Nice.
To be honest. Do you know what I mean?
I remember those years.
Yeah, and then to be honest, like trance as well, like proper euphoric trance, which was amazing. So, I don't know, I'm not like a rave, what they called, like the wisdom of all rave. The rave wisdom of. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't believe you had 3 number ones, man. That's such an incredible thing. And we were looking at the Calvin Harris stats, which is just 800 million streams on Spotify for that track nearly, which is absolutely insane. So congratulations. That's crazy.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
Thank you. I don't know what to say.
I know, but
I'm not in control of the numbers.
I know. Well, it is
amazing.
It must be a nice feeling. It must be an amazing feeling. Like,
it's very cool. Like, it is really cool. Like, and really proud. Like, really, really proud of what me and my friends, to be honest, have achieved throughout our career. So it's amazing. Like, to watch, and it's so nice to people like what I do. That's so comforting, you know.
Yeah, I'm
very humbled by it, to be honest.
Should we play a track? Should we play some music? Who wants to listen to music? Let's switch screen. Yeah, let's have a cup of tea break and just let's play some music. Last year, you released a track with my friend Mr. Jam and a guy called David Guetta. I thought I'd start with this one and kind of work forward a little bit. Should we play this and we can talk about it afterwards? That was a collaboration between you and Mr. Jam and Mr. David Guetta. So it started as just you and Jam, is that right? And then you brought in David as an extra, kind of added 20%.
Yeah, so basically we wrote it with a guy called Ollie Green in London, and I'd had this idea that I'd been trying to get right for a little while of doing How Will I Know as a remake kind of, and didn't quite know how to get it right, and then had this first idea. So I took it to this session with Mr. Jam and Ollie Green. And then we wrote the track. And then, I went and I thought, do you know what? David Guetta had reached out to me just that point and said, do you want to do a track? And I just sent him that. So it just worked out amazing, to be honest. And I mean, it's just been amazing. Like, I love the track now. And the song was really special. It was like, my missus, we love Whitney Houston so much. So I only ever wanted to do it justice, totally. And I'm really proud of it. Yeah, it's the first one I've done of using someone else's chorus or anything like that. So I'm glad it did well, you know.
Okay, that's cool. So he came in on the because you wanted to work with you. That's mental. He wants to work. Firstly, mental. You want to work with you, but also that's cool. You added him to the thing.
Yeah, totally.
I see a lot of aspiring producers that are struggling to finish tracks. Do you feel like bringing in another person to the track gives it that extra 20% and gets it over the line? You know, I see so many young producers, aspiring producers that kind of they're like sat on music they just can't finish. And I just, half of the time I hear that story where it's like, why don't you bring someone else in and collaborate with people? Does that help you? Does that help kind of the process for you? We lost you a minute.
Yeah, that's why I believe that a mixer is really important, because even if you like get somebody doing ad prod or whatever, a mixer will always come in and give that different opinion. And I think that's nice to not mix records myself. So I always do that. But I do work with a lot of people. Even when I'm doing my own tracks, I try and get advice off other people and use people's ears, even if they're not working on the track, because I think it's nice to hear an opinion, but you got to be really careful as well to not let the opinions eat at you, because like we were talking about before, everyone's got different music tastes. You got to be careful of what you let in and what you don't let in, you know. But yeah.
Someone asked a really good question in the chat. Let me scroll back up and ask that. Where is it? What is your production process like? Ableton, Logic? Do you have favorite plugins? Texas Spoon Tapper. Hey, thanks for joining us, Texas Spoon Tapper.
I love his name.
Yeah, me too. That's cool.
Where's Logic? I'll open Logic right now. So I use Logic.
Yep.
What are my favourite? Right, so one of my favourite plugins is called Effectrix by Kit. Who's it by?
All the Logic crew in the chat going, yeah, Logic!
Yeah, boy! So basically, on Logic, what else do I use? I use... obviously, everyone probably uses Little Altar Boy, which is amazing. By Sound Toys. That's one of my favourites.
That's come up a few times in the streams. That's cool.
Is it? Yeah, because it's like now. But the my favourite one actually is it's a synth. It's called Rob Papen, and it's sub boom bass. And then generally Rob Papen stuff's amazing. And I use Nexus a lot as well. Nexus 3, but yeah.
Sub boom bass is quality apparently. Cool. Oh, can you talk us through your room treatment? Wow, that's a big one. We're going depth on the production.
Wow. I wish I was sat in my studio. It was so much easier just to show this. I'm quite a handy man. And what I did was ordered like 50 planks of oak and sliced them up into tiny little pieces, like strips. And then put them vertically along the walls. So I get that like hardcore reflection, but that's not messy. So it doesn't like bounce around the room, and it takes it in and deflects it. But you also get that like harder feel to the sound, instead of it being like, you know, like that really kind of soft, deep, tight sound. You know, I can't work with that. It gives me an anxiety attack, to be honest. So it's like, it's here. It's too much, but yeah. So,
nice.
So, yeah.
That's cool. Gang, you need to do that in the chat. There you go. That was his. That was what he needs to know. Wicked. I'm not pressing that button again. We'll save the button for later. It just ends up in madness. We end up in like just fits of hysterics. Let's carry on. Should we play another music trip on the track? Let's jump.
What are we going for?
I don't. Well, you can choose. You choose.
No.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, I was going to go big and go 688 million streams and go Calvin Harris collabs, or we can go newer. I was going to try and save newer for later and kind of work forward a little bit. Or we had Sigala on recently. We can play your Sigala collab. Give me your love, which I really love as well. So let's go. Go on.
Go on then. I'm up for either.
Okay, let's go Cigar Crossover. We'll save the Calvin chat for later. There we go. That's an absolute banger. I feel like, do you know what that needs? It needs. We have this on our streams, John. We have the Hulk smash. Tracks get the Hulk smash. Tracks get the Hulk smash.
That is a Hulk smash.
That's a Hulk. Gets the Hulk smash. We hit the 10,000 mark. Go on, I'm on the 10,000.
Boy, here we go.
Does John have any artists in mind that he emulates or tries to take inspiration from when he's writing and singing songs?
Basically, I like for my voice, I'm really inspired by like soul, like heavy soul, and like Otis Redding and loads of amazing people like that, and like the Motown era. But definitely for like productions, there's so like I find influence from everything, like so much stuff. But yeah, I listen to everyone from like just so much like diverse music, like from Bicep to Lane 8 to just so many people that I listen to that are maybe classed as left. But then I also really appreciate commercial music, like very quite cheesy dance music I appreciate as well. So I think it's just about always like finding that, to take them influence and find where I sit in the middle of it, because I am vastly so inspired by so many areas. So that's the challenge for me, is to try and pull them all into one place that people want to listen to without sounding like Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, actually, if I made Bohemian Rhapsody, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah,
that'd be epic. That'd be epic. What were you inspired by your parents? Yeah. Did you get musical inspirations from your parents as well? Did they listen to stuff?
I did. Which is, my mum listened to Motown a lot and soul music growing up. And the touchy bit of the question is, I've actually just lost my dad, but he.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he inspired me with like, no, it's totally fine. With like a lot of folk music and like guitar music. He wasn't there like from the age of 6 until only recently that I fully reconnected with him for like 3 years. But yeah, I think what was weird about my dad was, and I think this might be a thing that a lot of kids realize, is that actually he inspired me in a different way. It's really weird because he wasn't there. I just wanted to impress him all the time. I just wanted to kind of like do something that impressed him, that brought him back, which is really sad. But and so I think that was like my driving force as a musician, because there's obviously business and other things that are involved in music to get yourself in the position where you can do it professionally. And I think that was my driving force to do well, to prove that I didn't need a father in my life almost to do well. But yeah, I've done a lot of healing since then and a lot of work on it, and reached out and had an amazing relationship with him before he passed. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird time, but yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Talk to me. Let's put it back to music. Talk to me about the Cigar record. Tell me about that record. The one we just listened to.
So I went out all night, basically, and then went to this session with this guy called Cigar, who I didn't know much about, but I remember he released that Michael Jackson and Jackson's remake first. And my A&R, Louis Bloom at Island, called me and said, "John, do you want to work with this guy, Cigar?" And I knew nothing but that single. And I was kind of a bit like, let's give it another single. Let's just see, because, let's just see where this goes. And I know it did so well, the single, but I was like, let's. And then he released Sweet Loving, was it, with Brendan Christopher. And I remember immediately, the reason I called my A&R immediately and said, I'll do it, because that was just different. And it just instantly answered all the questions that I'd like to hear from a new artist before I kind of worked with them. So, yeah, and then we went into like a session together. Like I said, I'd been partying pretty much all night. So then, which is fine to say now because I wouldn't do that anymore. But and often, not often. And basically, we just like started playing around with. We wanted to do. I was like very soul and funk inspired, and my second record was very much on that vibe, like really Daft Punk inspired at the time. And I just wanted to make something like that all the time. And then he just complemented that perfectly. And we just got this idea. And then we just went ahead and we made the track. And then we got Nile Rodgers involved, which is so cool. You're probably starting to see a repeating pattern here from me. Yeah. It's always going, can we get that person now as well? So I think... but I mean, to work with Niall was just like unbelievable as well. Like that's like bucket list tick. And I even got to go and perform with him and Chic to sing the song, which was God, like,
I love
Yeah,
Noel
that was
Rodgers.
mental.
He's literally on my list of people I would love to interview ever. Also, hats off to your address book, man. Crying out loud. Like, let's have a look how we can level up my tracks. I'll just give it a little scroll in my address book and see who amazing we can add to it. Like, like fair. I mean, crying out loud.
I think it is like being. I'm always been like that though. Like I am that, but I do believe that music's better together. So I think every time I meet someone, I'm like, we should do something, and always try and get their numbers. Obviously, it's a lot easier when you're like months off the back of 3 number 1 singles.
Yes.
When you've done 3 number 1 singles, everyone's up for it. Give it a year. Nah, it's quite hard to get the pickup, to be honest.
Has that been difficult after pandemic, picking back up from where you were, kind of those after like, massive singles?
I mean, it's a total different situation now. Like my headspace is to not focus on that and not look back on my career in any way that is not positive. And I now believe that the past is the past, and we've just got to enjoy what tomorrow brings and not yesterday. Because if I sit there going, hey, that's unrealistic, so maybe the best thing to do is just to enjoy the day. So yeah, I mean, it's really hard to compare because I'm just doing what I do and enjoying it as a hobby that thankfully pays so that I can do it all the time, you know. But that's yeah, so it's quite hard to compare. But I mean, yeah, I'd love 3 number 1s again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Jono. He wanted to know. Jono is a house music producer and he makes like a piano house. So his I need to know now is what's it say? You may have already answered this, but did the producers approach John or the other way around? How does it all start when people want to work with you? I'm guessing he wants to work with you, John.
I can't. We were trying to work this out the other day whether I met him first or we Twitter DM'd each other. But he was going to buy. I remember meeting him, and I was working with Mr. Hudson, and Calvin was in the studio upstairs, and then we were laughing at his car, Calvin's car, because it had bird shit all over it. And he walked out. He walked out of the building as I was laughing at this car with bird shit on, and it turns out it was his. And then he was really nice about it and fine, and he went and bought some flapjack from Tesco's, and then we started making a tune. So my advice on how to come together with other people, I have no idea. No, but I think it's a lot easier when, like for me, like the Rudimental collab was like I worked and I got sacked for giving people free beers, and I just wanted to do music, so I went on the dole and lived in my friend Piers's house. Piers's part of Rudimental, and then we made Feel the Love and Not Giving In together, in like literally in his bedroom. That did well. I made Love Me Again by myself, and then life just gets a bit easier once you've had success. So I think everyone kind of reached out to me because, you know, so it's a bit of both really. Like it's you've got to work hard to ask people, but also like be proud of what you do and be proud of your talents. Don't be desperate about them. You don't need other people to be talented or amazing, you know. So yeah, there's no need to be desperate. That's what I always think. But, yeah.
That's cool. I love that.
Not saying that this person is desperate, saying that I sometimes have come across as desperate, but yeah.
Right, let's move forward. So let's talk about moving forward. 2022, you've changed the plan. Tell me about this. Tell me about what's going forward now, and tell me about the new adventures of John Newman. Sounds like a comic book.
The New Adventures of John Newman. So yeah, like I said, like when we went into the pandemic, I was like back into the bedroom making the music that I just purely felt was the right thing to do, and that just turned out to be what had always been there, and even more so at the time, dance music. And I then started watching like my live shows and was like, yeah, this is great, but when I do the ballads, everyone's off to get a pint. So I was like, when I watch Avicii playing Love Me Again, or Kygo playing my tunes, or Calvin playing our tunes, or whatever, these big DJs, I see everyone just popping off all the time. And I was like, why don't I try and bring John Newman of the past into John Newman of the past, which was me as a kid DJing, which makes a new version of me to the public eye. So it's been a tricky one, because you're obviously going to get negativity when you try to do something new. People are obviously going to have an opinion. Some people love it, some people don't like it, but Marmite, I'd still invest in the company. It's still a big company. It still sells well. So like, it's about creating this, just me as this kind of dance all-rounder that's a producer, DJ, and singing as well, because it's something I've always done. I'm just now bringing it into the forefront of my career almost. So yeah, my new live show is really, really exciting, and it's kind of me fully integrated, playing instruments and sampling and DJing and all these things, where I feel like I'm really testing my abilities, which is what I've wanted for so long, something different. And then in terms of being in the studio, I'm doing remixes for people now. I'm doing my own DJ mixes. I'm doing loads of stuff. So if anyone has been a fan, or if anyone's a new fan, there's definitely plenty to be watching, and I'm only going to try and take it further and further in what I do. So yeah, hopefully I'll be accepted as in the new era of me. And
is it a nervous time for you?
Absolutely. Like I said to you before, the day that I decided to get rid of my management and my record label, I was like, what have I done? And then it took like 2 days and I started feeling amazing again. But like now, like next year, the exciting thing about all this is, next year, you might sit there and I'll be like, please, Graham, please, can I do a Twitch with you? And you'll be like, nah, it all went to shit. I don't remember you. Or you might be like, John, can I do a Twitch with you? And I'm like, I'm crazy busy. But yeah, let's do it. But like, yeah. And hopefully you might be like, yo, I interviewed John Newman a year ago on Twitch, and now look at that. That's crazy. Or you might be like, where did he go? So that's exciting. Because it's like being a kid again, where it's just all on the line,
Who are you remixing? That sounds amazing.
I've just done my own. I've put a new single out called Waiting for a Lifetime, and I've just done I've called it John Newman 2.0 remix, but I should have really called it Lose Your Fucking Mind at a Festival remix. That's really good. And that's generally the vibe I'm going for. Like, that I want to be able to make commercial music and maybe remix it into more of a heavy festival kind of place. So, yeah, I'm doing that. And I was just working on one for Jax Jones. I don't know if that's going to ever appear to the world, but yeah. And then, yeah, I'm starting to do a few more. But I don't want to give away too much before I start doing them all. And
that's cool.
Just tell everyone I'm doing everything I'm doing.
That's cool.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, yeah. Keep it. Yeah, make the moves, not announces. Yeah, that's it. Okay, shall we? Well, let's listen to another track. Let's get in there. Let's bring up the releases. Oh shit, we want that one. Let's bring up the 1.0, and then we can listen to the 2.0 afterwards. We've got the time. Let's play both of them.
Giving it the right.
Let's do both. Let's do both. Right, let's play this track. This is the Waiting for the Lifetime, and this is the first one. We'll play it, and then you can tell us about it all.
I've been blind, but your love's what I've been searching for.
There we go. Let's give that the Hulk. Let's give it the Hulk.
Smash! Smash!
Exactly. Always the Hulk
So
smash. So that's Waiting for a Lifetime. Tell me about that track. Tell me, how's it production for you? Do you start with the vocal, then produce the beats? How's your process work?
I actually, I was saying before that me and Cigar, like Bruce, were good friends. We are good friends, and I actually made that one with him. So we were just trying to make something that was like different for me. And we were just in the studio, and then we were just kind of like playing with that vocal and to mix it up, because I was like, I've got this thing where I'm like, like so fixated on sometimes trying to create what you call a John Newman chorus almost, which is like a big, high singing, addictive chorus. And I was like, we were trying to do something different. So I put my headphones on and then put the mic live, but we put a little altar boy on over this piano, and I just started singing these bits. And then Bruce like chopped up bits of my vocal to do and we just started getting this whole kind of weird vibe going on, and started piecing together a chorus in more of a software way than I've ever done. And yeah, it just turned out to be like this track that's like so reflective of where I was mentally in my life, kind of saying I've been waiting for a whole lifetime for this and keep working towards it. And it meant something special in that way. But it also, like, I wanted to make this amazing song for my missus, my wife, and make this incredible song that reflected our relationship. And do you know what the funny thing was? I spoke about it before. When I released it, the day of that's the day my father actually passed away. And like I said, we hadn't connected for 20 years, and then I had this really deep relationship. And then lost him. It took weeks to listen to the track, because me and my wife just said, "Oh my God!" Like the first time we heard it, after that we were both just streaming in tears, because every single lyric just felt like it related to me waiting my whole life to reconnect with my father and this whole thing. So it's still quite hard to listen to, because it's funny, isn't it? Like songs are like star signs. Like somebody tells you this concept and you totally believe it, and you're like so in on what this lyric is saying to you as a person. And I think, yeah, that one's a tough one, and I dedicated the release to my dad because I know he'd be so proud. So it's definitely an emotional song for me, and still hard to listen to, but I'm so proud of where I've got to after what I've been through mentally and in my career, to then get to here now, and to bring these things together. That angry person about my childhood, to then I was so proud that I managed to back down and pull up the white flag and reconnect with my dad. And it just feels like them two things have connected into this song. So it's such a special song for me in life, never mind like music, like, or hobbies or anything. It just, yeah, it's amazing that we can make music that's so powerful towards ourselves in that way, you know.
Before we play the next one, we have loads of vocalists in my community chat and community, and I thought I'd just ask you for tips, any tips you can give them on kind of writing lyrics, top lines, kind of where you kind of go into a headspace that kind of allows you to write these amazing lyrics.
I mean, it's different for everybody, and I'm not like a guru, and I don't want to look that way, because I believe that there's far more people talented than me at this. But I think it's about, for me, it's always simplicity when it comes to music, and in every way. So I think the simplicity of me making my top lines or lyrics is that I generally start with an idea. So I basically just like get the simplest thing, of which is the melody in my head of something. And then it's about giving that time and seeing what the music feels like with that. And then I start producing something from there. But to skip the production bit, I think for me, I know this is a different way of working on it, but I like to take time. Whereas some top liners and songwriters want to get it done that day, where I'm a bit like, I feel like get the melody idea, maybe get a production, and then really focus on the lyrics in a storytelling way. I generally, when I'm really getting into lyrics, I'll write like 3 to 4 pages of a subject. And that subject might be like, you've really pissed me off. I'm annoyed because this is bullshit and you shouldn't have done that. And and just generally rant. And then what you do is compress that into the core subject, which is more in a song structure. And then you translate them words into rhyming words, but you still get that concept. So it's about a big ranting story or a big nice story, and then compressing it into more of like each kind of section of kind of meaning or subject, and then maybe saying, okay, well, that'd be a good subject for verse 1, verse 2, and then compressing it even more, and then turning that into a lyrical format, so it's got the rhyming words in it, sits with the melodies and things like that. Yeah, so I spend a lot of time on lyrics and make sure that I get them doing the things that I want to do to make it feel like I want to sing that song. Yeah,
that must be nice though. There must be quite like a nice kind of outlet. You kind of, by spending all that time writing, it gets it out of you, like that. Like we were speaking about earlier with mental health, and kind of, you know, that must be a kind of help your mental health by writing out all these problems and all these nice stories and kind of just feeling them a bit, you know.
Do you know where I got the idea from? I read this like songwriter's I can't remember, like A to Z songwriter's book, and it was, I can't remember who wrote it, but basically she said, but basically she said in it, if you feel like you've got writer's block, where you just feel like you can't like get out what you want to do and you're frustrated by it all, it's probably due to something that's annoyed you or a situation. So the best thing to do is, if it's a person in particular or a subject in particular, mainly a person, the best thing to do is to write to them, write their name on the top and say, to whoever, this is why you've pissed me off, you've really upset me for this reason, and chuck in the bin. And what you've done there is released that. So I was like, can I do that whilst making the song? So then I never get writer's block. And so then that's how I started that whole process. That's write sick. The story, go for it. You know, yeah.
Amazing. I think I might try that. I might try that when I'm just stressed. Anyway, that sounds like. I think.
Totally.
I think I'll end up writing to my.
Careful which bin you put it in, though.
Before we play the next track, I saw a really good question. I think it was surround sound. Oh, I know what it was. Yes, surround sound. Surround sound needs to know, John Newman, Hobbies or Warburtons?
Unbelievable. It's very good. It's a poignant point, to be honest. To be honest, Hobbies. I mean, white is white bread.
Yeah.
It's all good with butter, a lot of butter. And anything put in there. I'm a northerner. You can put anything in there. So let's not divert. Let's not segregate. I'm just going to say the winner in all of this is white bread.
I feel like you've wasted your I need to know button. Right, let's crack on with some more music. Let's play the version 2. So version 2 of Waiting for a Lifetime. Tell me about version 2. And 2.0.
Oh man, it's literally what I made it because I was like, I just want to be in a field, my mind at 2 a.m. with the full spectrum of special effects available on the festival, and I just want to be stood in a club in Leeds again. Yeah, or stood in a club in Leeds again, just like losing my mind to it. So I was like, whatever I do, if I'm going to make a 2.0 version that says where my head's at in a production format, and ideally where I'd like to go if I didn't have the restraints of the past and what you should be as an artist, that's where I'd go. So I just went really heavy, and I love it.
Amazing. Before I play this track, do you get a special effects rider as part of our I must have these? Epic.
I got given a brochure so basically you get a brochure and then you can choose what you have at that specific So we've got a rider, but some people won't suit to it.
Yep.
And then they'll give you a brochure and say, would you like to pay extra to get these ones on top? These are what we've got. So, yeah.
You definitely would do that, wouldn't you? You would definitely go, yes.
Pretty cool. It's cool, isn't it? Yeah. But the best thing is, when I got given the brochure off my tour manager, he was like, what do you want at your upcoming gigs if the rider includes it? So I was obviously like, I think it was called like a level 2 fireworks show. I was like, level 2 fireworks show? That'd be good.
Yes.
I just put all the above, please. I was like, can I actually have everything? Can they do a level 1 fire show at the same time as they do a level 2, 3 and 4?
Oh my God, I want to know, is that the level 2, is that the with the big, those big rockets that, oh my God, yes. Yeah. And you mentioned earlier about the CO2s and fireworks. Have you played the CO2, the drinking game, the CO2 drinking game, where you basically, every time that one goes off, you have a little shot? We did that with
a proper shot, like that's...
Yeah. So we did it. I went to this thing with Calvin Harris was playing, and it was in the middle of his EDM career. So obviously,
my God,
effects were going off every 30 seconds, and we were doing Jaeger bombs basically every 30 seconds when a went off or a went off, and yeah.
Oh, that must have been very painful. Like, there is so much CO2 in his shows. And like, yeah, man, like literally it's like twice every drop, I think. And drops come few and like a lot in his show.
It's called the Pyro Drinking Game. It's hilarious. But obviously, as we're on the front page,
don't do it whilst you're playing, yeah.
And drink water. Yeah,
and don't do it whilst you're headlining.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But drink responsibly, and it's good fun. But anyway, let's play this track. Let's go back into Spotify mode. This is 2.0. And we'll carry on in a minute. Oh, well, holy moly. That can have the... I feel like it needs the double. Like it needs the rave horn as well. Holy moly.
I love it.
I want to go and party. That's fucking amazing.
It absolutely stinks, doesn't it?
Holy moly. There's so many people going, I'm going out now. I want to go out now. Let's go. I feel you. I feel those people in the chat. Oh my God, I need to party. Jabber FX. I do as well. Today, stinking bass in the chat. Amazing. So that I'm still a little bit like that. I wasn't expecting that much raviness. That's amazing. Your vocal sounds amazing on there. The vocal processing sounds absolutely wicked. And I love the little one that goes down just before it kind of drops. That where it was a really low one. That was yeah.
All right,
sick.
yeah. Little altar boy. That's it.
So that's just come out as well. We'll play that again in a minute. Get the rave back on.
So I'm well up for it. Let's end on it. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Normski, question for John. What genre of music do you prefer your lyrics to be used over? And is this the same as your favourite music, or does it differ? He thinks your voice is perfect in capital perfect for drum and bass, and he likes it to be used there. Okay, cool.
No, right, yeah, got it.
Do you understand?
My preferred genre is dance music, like whether it be house or 90s kind of ravey or festival or whatever. I just like it to have euphoria or heaviness or something that brings me a feeling.
Yeah.
In terms of D&B, obviously love drum and bass, but it's not really a global mainstream radio thing, so I have to kind of try and avoid that, even though I do love heavy D&B. I mean, I did well with Rudimental on that tune, but yeah. But yeah.
I feel like I need to, yeah. So you mentioned you got your new setup for touring. Has you been out there? Did I see you were in Italy recently? Is that have you been testing this out? Have you been road testing the new setup?
Yeah, very much. I've done a fair few shows. I've done a few too many of sitting down shows, which is really odd for this new like kind of energetic live show. But where did I do a really big one? I did one in Wickham, which was sick. Like I headlined a festival in Wickham, which was amazing. And Romania, cool. I did Saga Festival, which is like the new Untold festival and like Tomorrowland vibes, like big heavy dance festival. So that was amazing and really got to give the new setup a good test, which is really exciting. Yeah.
And then what have you got coming for 2022? Where can we see you this year?
I've got loads of stuff coming up. My next one's snowbombing up in the Alps, which is going to be really, really fun. Should be nice and exciting. And
have you been there before?
Yeah, I've got loads. No, I've never done it. I've never I went to the Alps for the first time last week randomly.
Yeah.
We just went for a drive and we drove up into basically a ski resort with no ski clothes, so we just looked completely weird. But yeah, no, I've never done snowbombing before, which is really exciting.
Oh, it's epic. We did it. We had a stage there for Data Transmission a long time ago. We had basically on top of the mountain. There's an igloo stage, or there was an igloo stage, and basically we did an outside thing on the side of the igloo during the sun in the afternoon, and people were like, so everyone dresses up in fancy dress, and I basically was DJing to to a Wookiee and a Darth Vader and a Pink Panther, and it was just incredible. It's an amazing experience. You see people coming down the slopes dressed in fancy dress. It's incredible. You're gonna have a great time there for sure.
That sounds. And it's randomly, it's my friend from Rudimental. It's his stag do whilst we're there.
Oh my! So
that is going to be very messy. It's going to be fun though, very fun. I don't know how well they go together, like skiing and absolutely wasted, but we'll see.
You'll find it happens at snowbombing. It's incredible. One thing I will say is go and check out Hans the Butcher. It's legendary, and basically it's this mad like butchers, but he just serves burgers and meats and has DJs and everyone kind of hangs out there, and it's an incredible place there.
What is it? Hans the Butcher.
Hans the Butcher.
All right, I'm going. That sounds amazing. Yeah,
it's just like it's an actual butcher, but then they just cook it all up, and then like there's DJs and yeah. It's. Do you know? I was there one time, and I was just sat down. I was just having a burger, and then I looked around, and Mark Ronson was sat next to me, and I was just like, oh, hello, like. Yeah, that was.
I always had this thing like. I always had this thing at the start of my career because I was like a cocky northerner that was like full of energy. I always feel like Mark Ronson's like the coolest, like quietest, nicest guy. But it makes me want to go up to him and go, "Oh, you've done so well, haven't you?" and see what his reaction would be. I'd love to see what he'd be like. He'd be like, "Oh, oh, you've done so well, haven't you?" It'd be so good. I actually know him quite a bit now, and I think he'd be like, "Get off of me! Don't do that, please."
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's good there. It's good. Yeah, I'm glad. Okay, I'm gonna play another track. I'm gonna go right back and play some drum and bass for those drum and bass people that are in the chat.
The beginning.
Let's do this and go drum and bassy for you guys, drum and bass fans in the chat. There we go. I still love that record. That's absolutely epic. Can we hear John?
It sounds fresh, but it does sound old, doesn't it? Like some of the synths do sound old now.
Do you feel like your voice has changed over the years and aged? Do you feel like, because listening to your newest track, you kind of there's more depth and tone to your voice, and is that kind of just because you've got older and wiser? And
I think so. I think it's like, I don't know if it's older and wiser. It's just, I mean, I've got it tattooed on my chest. You can't see it. But it says people change. And I think we do. Like, just generally, like, obviously your influences change over time as well. And the style that you're doing changes. So it just kind of all goes hand in hand. It really changed when I actually started properly, like, touring all the time because the muscle got stronger, if you know what I mean. And it's just changed again because I've stopped smoking. I used to smoke cigarettes, which is not good. You shouldn't do that. But and I've stopped that myself. And that really changes your voice. So, yeah. Maybe I'll sound like Daffy Duck or something on the next record. Again. Again, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I remember when they first played that, I was doing a video shoot. And they played it on Capital Radio and we had it on for the first time. And the woman turned around and said, she said, "Who is that guy? He sounds like a dying goat when he sings." I've done all this. And then that's what I was like, this is just, I don't know what to do. It's like, is this the end so soon?
Oh my God. Let me have a look through the questions, see what else. If you've got a question or you've got if you need to know something right now of John Newman, get it in the chat right now. This has been fucking... I'm keeping this button, by the way. We're going to ask other people these things.
Please do. Can you send it to me? I think I could probably make it, to be honest, but yeah.
Yeah. If John could write any vocals for anyone, who would it be and why? Ooh, that's a big one.
Oh, wow, that's a good one. I think I'll change it to who would like to work with, but Sia. Like, oh my days, Sia is crazy inspiring and amazing. Florence Welsh, I love Florence Welsh so much. I think she's ridiculously talented. Love to work with her. Love Griff. Griff's really good as well. I'm just going to go with them for now. Rihanna, definitely Rihanna, 100%. Funny story, we spoke about Calvin a lot in this interview, but I went to do Coachella with him, and basically I fancied Rihanna and admired her for basically my whole life. And then I had the opportunity to meet her, but because I was so starstruck, I didn't actually say anything.
Oh no!
And Calvin walked away after he introduced us, so we just stood there
in
silence.
Oh no!
I was like this, and then she walked away.
Oh no! Oh no!
She walked away. Our party walked away, so I was kind of just stood by myself to reflect on my weakness.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's proper awkward.
Yeah, okay, very, very awkward.
Yeah,
I mean, it's better than me turning around in silence and then going, "I love you."
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
To hear 8 Kahona, I heard an unreleased track in your set. I think it's called Holly Love, maybe, and it sounds wicked. When can we hear it soon? Ooh, getting exclusives.
Pass. Yeah, it's called Holy Love, and it's a track that I really, really, really love. And the version that I played in my live sets was definitely to test it out and see how well it run. which it did very well. The test drive went really well. And now I'm just making sure that I really, really want it to be perfect. And then we'll see what happens with it in the future. But yeah.
Is that going to be one of the benefits of this new live set, that you can just like make little things and test them and see if they get reactions and kind of be your own A&R basically?
Yeah, totally. And I think the crowd and people in general are the best judges of that. Like seeing a crowd reacting, that's not like a standard thing. It's got to be something that moves them. And I think that's the priority for me at the moment, to make people enjoy my music and move and find it addictive and euphoric. So yeah, like I said, that track passed the test. And I think that's a successful start to trying to do that. So yeah, I mean, it's a thing that DJs and producers do all the time. So I can definitely do it more, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember I used to work at a nightclub in London, and we used to have the Terminals, the Chemical Brothers as residents, and it was basically before even CDJs was there, and we'd go to them, they'd turn up and we'd go, they kind of bring these like one cut vinyls of new tracks, and we're like, how many have you got? What are you testing? And they were like, not saying, but definitely not 5 new tracks, and we're like yes, okay, wicked, amazing. We can't tell you, but it's not 5.
Yeah. Next minute you hear, hey boy, hey girl.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like, oh my God.
And Saturate. We definitely didn't hear Saturate and before yeah. Right, anyone else got something they need to know right now out of John Newman before we close up and say thank you so much for joining us? Let's do one more. I need to know now. I'm glad. We were like, should we do it? Was it going to be annoying?
Oh wait, somebody just said, can we do a remix contest? That's something that I'm actually about to do with my new single. If everybody goes and follows me on Instagram, which would be ideal, but also, yeah, anyone interested in that, I will be putting that out soon. So you should all definitely get involved. So yeah, keep an eye on my socials, and that will. Oh my God, we definitely. When that comes out, get your team to email it to me. We'll put it in our Discord. So anyone that wants to join it in the Discord as well, we'll put the links and stuff in the Discord when that happens, so everyone can get involved in that remix competition. Cool. Yeah.
Someone said in the chat, John, I want John in my raving crew.
I'm well up for that. Let's go.
Right. John Newman, thank you so much for joining me on Twitch. This has been absolutely epic. And I hope to see you very soon. And I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I've really, really enjoyed myself. And it's been a pleasure to be on here and also on the Twitch front page, and to also answer all these amazing questions from everyone and play music and all these great things. So I'll be watching you. That sounds so weird. No, I'm waiting for the pool thing, to be honest.
Oh, so, yeah, we'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm up for it. But anyway, thank you so much to you, and also to everyone that's been on here, and all the amazing comments as well. It's been a wicked afternoon, to be honest. So thank you so much.
If you found this interview interesting, consider giving it a like and a comment. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and let me know your biggest takeaway below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I'm back on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and you can check out the schedule from the link below as well to see who's coming up in my interview series. I'll see you in the next Twitch stream or the next YouTube video. I'll see you soon. Bye.